do I feel good about this election is that this is the 1 in 5 years moment where we get the most importance among the all people. And in that as well, it is our responsibility that we elect the government which will be responsible for what the measures that we are going to get in the future. One thing that I also find good is that we as youth are now one of the biggest voting percentage of this voter list, the youth, whether it be female or male. So that is one of the good thing that I find about this election. Now, one of the concern that I find is this current election, Maharashtra election, is that I feel that this is the turning point for Maharashtrian elections, because all the political drama that took place in the previous 5 years, the split that took place in between the parties, and all the unstable government that was formed over there, and all the impact that it had on our businesses and all the development. I think that is one of the concern that is over there, because that is going to shape what our political future is going to be as a state.
I think there is a lot to develop. There's a scope in many areas like infrastructure, also industries. In infrastructure, Gadkari sir has said that we will be removing the conventional vehicles and will give scope to electrical vehicles. But I think that the infrastructure has to be developed, as there is no charging points for electrical vehicles. So that's the major thing I feel. Also, there's no proper drainage system. So in that case also, we need some development. I feel that there is scope for industries to build in Nasik. As we know, in Pune, Mumbai, there are a lot industries. But Nasik also has like so much of space. So I think some of those should shift to the Nasik.
One thing I like about elections is it gives hope to everyone for new changes. And as we can see, this is youth period where we are all voters are youth. Most of them are youth. And we can see in our college itself that we keep on discussing in during lunchtime and dinner time, that what will happen in the elections and what all is going on. So it's a good thing that we all are interested about getting to know about what our government is going to do and who our government is, and this will impact and how we think about our government should be. And the concerning thing I feel is like about the women safety. There are new yojnas like Ladki Bahin Yojana. So yojnas like these can boost them up, help them up to increase.
The one thing that I like particularly about Indian elections are there has been a quite trend in the recent years that the youngsters are increasingly actively participating in the elections. So here we can see a notable thing, that the demand of youngsters is completely different from the middle-aged or the old persons. So their demand might be different. They might be more focused towards education, employment and such topics. The worry that I have particularly here is that there is a lack of awareness among the youngsters how to properly analyze and go through the manifestos of political parties. There should be a more awareness, and there should be educational programs over the same, that how to properly analyze the manifestos of the political parties and then take the voting decision. Because obviously on one hand you are asking the political party a couple of things in hand, and on the other hand, if you're not properly analyzing their manifestos, there's no sense in voting them.
The good thing that I find that people are more informed now, and that has been forcing the politician to promise some more informed things. Like there are good things, and people like Nitin Gadkari sir have built the metro construction in Nagpur, as well as there are many EV buses there in Nagpur. That is one thing. And the concern, I think, is still there is a scope of development in education sector. So like in Germany, they're totally free education. So that can be one thing that can be done in our country.
I am from Marathwada region of Maharashtra. So looking at this elections, maybe made with the state elections or made with the elections at the national level. So one thing I really like is that many political parties push their manifestos and push the points related to the youth and youngsters and related to the entrepreneurship. Either it may be related to the entrepreneurship or business. So that is the positive side I can see in the state elections as well as the national elections. Talking about some of the, like one of the major concern that happens, when Manifesto has been declared, there is a lot of scheme has been declared in the manifesto, but the implementation is a little bit slower. So that's the only worry about it.
So the beautiful thing that I see about Maharashtra's election or any election that takes place in this country is the dance of democracy. So India is the largest democracy, and the kind of machinery that it takes to conduct an election, it becomes very, it's very time consuming, yet it is so efficient that we don't find our elections getting rigged. At this particular point, there are no rigged elections going on. So this is one thing that I found very beautiful about. Second thing I find beautiful about Maharashtra's election is that the kind of topics or the kind of issues that are highlighted in elections. So Maharashtra being a state that does good economically, the kind of topics or issues that are taken place are mostly focused on industrialization, on education, on skill development, on issues related to women's safety. So when politicians go on the stage and make speeches, they make most of their speeches on these lines, and I find that very interesting with Maharashtra. The negative side that I find is sometimes some promises are made that are not very much, not a lot of research is done on those issues, and the promises are made abruptly without doing a lot of research. So that is one thing that I feel should be changed.
So like election is going on and the development is one thing that they should talk about it. And moreover to it, semiconductor industry is something I would like to dwell more on. As L&T is also tapping into those resources, they are expanding to the semiconductor industry. What I feel is like I'm from Pune, so Pune hold a major potential for a semiconductor industry to tap into pharma sector, then automobile sector, and a lot of sectors such as IT. Semiconductor is the next biggest thing after big data. That's what I feel. And also India is pushing a lot of money, like recent budget also pushed a lot of money into semiconductor industry. So what I feel is semiconductor should be a current topic to discuss about, and a lot of incentives and policies and the government should align their manifesto in accordance with. So that is something I feel about it. And so there are, of course, it's area improvement that we should all work about it. Concern is we are lacking on it, not exactly lacking on it, but we should actually speed up our process to catch up with the world, because Western world actually far away compared to us in the semiconductor industry.
So being from the financial capital of Maharashtra, I'm feeling very proud to say that we are rapidly maintaining the dignity of Maharashtra's Mumbai capital. Yeah, Mumbai is maintaining that, but recently worries are like Mumbai is rapidly going to urbanization, which we expect that Maharashtra government shall also focus in the other parts of Maharashtra as well. Reason being that only opportunities are found, like just like Payal said, opportunities are mainly found in Mumbai and like not in Nashik. Like it is not much developed right now. So we expect Maharashtra government shall focus on Vidarbha regions as well.
I think building EV infrastructure and bringing EV to Maharashtra can be the hub of EV. So like we are already developing in the EV sector. So bringing EV infra in states like in our state would be really important for us to develop. Worries would be the infrastructure only, like developing the charging points and all the setup is a major concern here, and building with that pace is a concern to us. So like developing fast is a concern in that sector.
Coming from the Konkan region, the one of the main issues that I think is that of tourism. Like Maharashtra is blessed with a great flora and fauna, and also the rich history in its forts built by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. But the current state of those forts are in sorry condition. They are not properly maintained. The government has launched various schemes in developing them, but it is not up to the mark that it attracts a sizable number of tourists. So also there is a issue of road connectivity for these forts. Also, what I think is through development and proper maintenance of sport, we can also increase the tourism to a large extent. So the recent Mumbai-Goa highway that was developed, that was a big boost for tourism, but still needs it needs to be done in this region area. And what I think good about Maharashtra politics is the topics that are being picked up are the recent topics and other topics of the land, or other recent topics that people are facing. At least politicians are speaking about them and they are coming in the limelight.
As we know, Maharashtra is at top to contribute to India's GDP, and one of the most sector that contributed to India's GDP till now is agriculture. So what I think, according to Maharashtra, Maharashtra also contributes most in the agriculture sector. So the government should look upon schemes that would impact the farmer, the rural farmer, and we know that India's most of the population comes from rural areas. So this government should look for applying schemes or generating more income from agriculture sector. They should introduce more technology related infrastructure to agriculture so that we can boost our economy based on agriculture. And I think worries which I feel are the kind of infrastructure which is to be made for agriculture sector is not that much, or it is not at that pace that it should be increased.
According to me, the good things what I feel about the elections of Maharashtra, or in a bigger picture of India, we can say that each and every leader tries to give their best that we will take our state or nation to a certain level. They are striving to give their best to in at the end of the day, their main motive is the development of that territory. So this is the best thing that I feel, but there are many more concerns. The first thing I feel is that as my friends mentioned, the difference between the promises made before the elections and after the elections. The second thing I feel, the Maharashtra dropped down from second to ninth place. One of the reason I feel that of overall Maharashtra, only a certain region, a certain part of Maharashtra is being focused, and the other regions, such as for example Vidarbha region, is being neglected. I feel that Vidarbha region has been neglected by the government. So these are some of the major concerns. And one nationwide concern I feel is the safety of girls. That's a major concern, not only on the state level but on the national level, that should be addressed by the government.
I think they try to execute what they have mentioned in their manifestos, but it depends how well they are trying to execute or how well they have executed. But at last, what impact does it create on the country or public? It is the main point.
I think they put forward a plan that that we can know about what are their agendas that are going to be, what are the targets that are going to be. The implementation part of it is the next thing that they should focus upon, but that's a part and parcel of the thing.
On similar lines, a manifesto is not the only document that a voter can rely upon. So maybe a voter can go on the past trends, like the past analysis of the political party, or what has been the recent changes within the political party and their ideology as well.
Even though some of the policies are implemented, but the leadership at the local level is, if is inefficient, the policies won't properly percolate to the masses that needs to be. So many a times the policies remain ineffective just because of not proper choosing of the local leadership. That also is a point.
Freebie is a word that we have given. I think they are the welfare schemes. So if we are talking about the current scheme that the Maharashtra government is running, the Ladki Bahin Yojana, it has around 46,000 crore additional expenditure that the government will do. So in order to evaluate a freebie as a citizen of the state, what I'll do is I'll look at the merits and demerits of that freebie. So if this is a freebie, because we are giving directly to the poor, so we are empowering them. At the same time, we are giving it to a female, but she can be the leader of the house. So if there are youths of our age which are present in that house, and this might reduce the crime rate also, because we are giving them some power. At the other hand, the second thing that might happen is that there might be a lot of leakages, or there might be demotivation. So in order to see if a freebie is good or not, or a welfare scheme is good or not, this is the way I think that we should evaluate them.
So speaking about the welfare schemes and generating the revenue in itself, so I would like to take an example here, like from last 10 years, there has been a scheme like schemes in the agriculture sector, like CM Solar Pump Yojana or PM Kusum Solar Yojana. So there I have seen that the electricity has been the major issue in the agriculture field, and it directly affects the revenues. And I have seen the changes. So talking about the regional areas, so I have seen the changes when government declares any scheme regarding the agriculture. They implement in the stepwise. and the revenues have been increased in the agriculture sector in our area, and that I think generates the revenues in itself.
When I heard about the scheme of Ladli Bain, and I had a thought of that if a family is earning X amount right now, and from now on, if they know that they're getting certain amount from the government in free, then why will they earn they work for earning the whole X amount? They will earn only X minus that certain amount which they are getting for free. So this is something that he mentioned it as demotivation for the family, that we don't have to give our best to earn the same amount. This is one of the disadvantage I feel. And the second thing is that the government, if they are bringing any scheme, so it should have some deadline, or like for a certain number of years, because if we carry it for a perpetual amount of time, then it will be a problem for the government itself also.
I also like to add a few points on it, like the subsidies that are being given by the Maharashtra State Rural Road Transportation Corporation, like the MSRTC, regarding the buses. Like the female population gets 50% subsidized fare prices, and also the elderly people above 75 years are getting it for free. Already the MSRTC is under laws since quite few years. So I think that rather than giving subsidies on these fronts, the more focus should be based on improving the facilities that are over there, the maintaining those, and how those can be more efficient for masses, even in the rural areas. So if the business is developed through that aspect, then I don't think that freebies are needed, like the welfare schemes that are needed in such a way.
When we look at from the point of view of economic measure, so when freebies are given, that is a short term measure, and political parties use this as a election campaign. When somebody is getting money, it is for free, so they think that is this party is good, and they will vote on that, keeping that view in mind. But this is a very short term prospects that affect the political parties and the budget of a government in the short term. But what should be the focus of a government is to invest that amount in the building capital, building the infrastructure, and which can provide benefit for the long term. So that will improve the balance sheet of a state. So that is the main problem that is there in freebies.
I feel that instead of pointing others, they should look into what we should develop in our state, and they should be more concerned about the development of our state. Earlier election was, it was like they were not looking into the development, and they were just concerned about winning the elections. That's what I feel. So now it's the opportunity that they should actually think about it. That's what I feel.
These such issues that pop up during the elections, if we see the trends from the previous elections also, some of the temporary issues pop ups and they got vanished after the elections. So I think there must be we should see at the bigger pictures, like some of my friends have mentioned, like you have to analyze the past trends of that party and it should be related to the manifesto and the current changes in the party or a political environment of the state or the assembly where the election is happening. So I think that we shouldn't be the concern about such temporary or the issue that pop-ups only during the elections.
In recent years, some of the businesses have been transferring to Gujarat. One of the reasons is because of the instability of the government and the shifting of political parties. The businesses themselves are not sure which political party would be in the government the next day. So better than being in an unstable state than in a stable state that has a strong government and might be taking into good decisions.
Not only about big businesses, but if we also talk about small businesses. So if there is no policy consistency that is happening in the government, they are also affected, and they are affected at large as compared to big businesses. So the instability affects them more. So I think that is also a key issue that is developing here.
So being an Indians, what I feel is we are emotional. So being an emotional person, you basically emotional driven person, and politicians are those are like they are psychologists. They basically target your emotions and they play with it. So what I feel is development should be a burning topic on that should be something election should be run on. And now the second question, some of the projects that have been transferred to the Gujarat. So we can talk about Vedanta. It is a semiconductor project, as I've mentioned that it's next biggest thing. So what I feel is it's not it's due to the political issues, but of course looking at the larger picture, if we plan something like the stable government in the central and state, we can have a sustainable growth and certain policy aligned towards the business. So a lot of all other business should be attacked to the particular state where they feel the potential is rising there. So that's what I feel.
AI is one of the topic that is one of the most emerging digital technology that is going to be there in the future. I think India can really develop leverage it with respect to the if I have to give one example, with respect to the digital schools that are being developed in various villages of Maharashtra, the Maharashtra government can leverage it through that aspect as well by using AI through the such issues like through the environmental issues, through the education issues. So I think like any technology, it has both sides. It can help in the development of the state.
Talking about the AI and technologies in India, last year only the debate and discussions happened over it. Like when Prime Minister has announced 3 AI research centers, AI research development centers in the India, and one is already being developed in the Maharashtra. I think I have read about it is being developed regarding the AI technology that can be implemented in the agriculture sector. So my biggest concern is not about the how much development we do in the AI, but how it should be tilted that it should be the affordable AI development, because there are many sectors that already uses the AI technologies in their productions and all the processes, but that should be affordable and it should be used by everyone else. So that's what I think.
India is one of the biggest consumers of AI, particularly ChatGPT and other related tools. So I think a more focus should be there on the development of AI in India rather than just the consumptions. Like we are one of the biggest consumers, but more focus should be on the developers of AI as well in India.
It's internet, but it's from the social media like YouTube driven channels and some of the newspapers like printed media.
Online media is much more accessible in our hectic schedule, so we just, rather than reading the physical newspaper, the online newspaper we can skim through between our classes and stay updated. Many a times it happens that we see some news on Instagram, and to fact check it, we go on the newspaper website whether it is true or not.
Podcasts are also part of it, sir. Like we get the information from it.
I think some of the young leaders are covering the issues like related to sustainability. Like various youth leaders have covered the issue of marine pollution in Mumbai. They have acted upon that. So I think the issues are being covered. Also with respect to education, the voices have been made into the houses regarding the education, the digitization of education that needs to be there, and also the good implementation of some innovative ideas that can be there. So I think that somewhere the young leaders have to mandatorily they have to address our issues.
If we talk about Hindu Muslim, so it's like really a topic going around. So what we have seen as of now is that whenever there is a hot topic going around, and if the government is not able to answer the particular question, they try to divert the mindset of the youth. They go ahead with like Hindu Muslim topic, come ahead. And I have seen in Mumbai, like some part of like Mumbai region, Bajrang Dal, specifically Bajrang Dal is kind of more promoting, and they are diverting the mindset of the people. But in this time, we have to be very careful and we have to be very precise with what we are seeing and what we have to choose a path on. Like we have to grow. And if we fall on these topics, we will not be able to develop ourselves. So instead of going into the words of politicians, we have to take our stand by ourselves.
When these promises, these points are raised by any politician, when what is the main motive of them is to catch the attention. When they put forward these points, so he has mentioned that we are emotional people, so they try to get attention out of people and try to be a hero in front of public. So if any politician comes up and he says that I will invest in manufacturing sector, and this is how jobs will be created, so nobody will be interested in that, listening to that thing also. That's why the politician comes forward and they put for their points that are eye catching. So that is the problem that politician has.
There is a big difference between thought process between the leaders and the youths. So what they are trying to do now, they are bringing more and more youths in their parties as well, to see what are the problems faced by the youth and what should be implemented for to rectify their problems. Now, as youth is the biggest population or the biggest voter list in this country, so they are now more focused upon youth. They would say that more of the problems which are faced by youth, we should rectify them, because they are the generation which would come in future, and they are the ones who will develop our nation. So I think they are investing more in identifying what are the problems, and also preparing solutions and implementing them. So I think nowadays the leaders are also more effective in this process.
Being from Mumbai, I don't feel that this is an issue over there, because I feel there is a kind of diversity. We all stay together. We don't find people talking Marathi over in Mumbai, because we talk in Hindi and we don't even find. Even I'm Marwadi, but I stay in Mumbai, so I'm open. Like we don't have any this kind of diversity.
I think that job is the major concern that everyone is concerned about. It is not whether, like, I think that Maharashtra has the potential that it can give jobs to, provide jobs to not only the people of Maharashtra but other people as well. Also, one of the biggest strength of Maharashtra is that its inclusivity towards people, which has helped it to grow, which has helped Mumbai to grow as a cosmopolitan city. Also, it is one of the biggest factor that has helped Maharashtra being the most industrialized state in the country, and that's what creates a great environment for any business to invest in the state.
People are focusing in Maharashtra on in cities like Mumbai and Pune. So mostly we should now look after cities like Amravati, Nasik and Nagpur. Nagpur is especially developing right now. Like we can see Mehan. It's the first city where all the IT companies are coming up. So apart from Pune, which is the IT hub already in Maharashtra, now even Nagpur is becoming one of them. So such cities, various small cities, small towns should be also looked after, and that's how there will be development in Maharashtra more.